What's up, guys? James Palms here. Today is Halloween, so I'm going to be doing some pumpkin carving and things. As you can see across the street now, yeah, I can see it. The pumpkins are out. Most people have carved them. We carved some of ours last night. Carving a few more. So as you can see, I still got the palm trees out, obviously. Even the banana. The leaves are not looking great from a couple of light frosts, but it's still doing okay. I wonder if it's umbrella because it's pouring rain. Well, not pouring, but you can see it's raining. So, anyways, I didn't feel like getting wet. Still got the shorts and flip flops, but anyways. So we get the palm trees still out. Even got some hibiscus there and robolini out, but most stuff is inside right now. A lot of my small potted stuff. My other stuff I got in a little, just in a car, keeping it out of an old van I have in my driveway, keeping it out of the rain and cooler frost nights. So we have started to have a frost pretty regularly. Not regularly, I guess, whatever. We've had a couple. But anyways, so today we're going to be starting, well, today-ish and maybe tomorrow. It's raining right now, so I'm not going to do too much. But we're going to start trying to, sorry about the airplane, protect the Washingtonia robusta because it's my most fragile palm that I have in the ground. I mean, it can definitely handle a lot more than this. I mean, as you can see, it's still looking absolutely great and gorgeous. But really, right now, we're not getting a lot of sun. We have actually been still getting a few sunny days, but after this, it doesn't look good. And even if it's sunny, the temperatures are too cool. Like being 9 to 10 Celsius during the day. Like right now, currently it is 10 Celsius, so 50 Fahrenheit, because you double it and add 30. So yeah, right around 50 Fahrenheit and 10 Celsius, 11 Celsius, which it's fine if it's dry, but a quite cool rain of 50 is quite cool. So and these plants are not benefiting from it. It's basically at a standstill. They don't really grow, especially the washi. Even my other windmill palms, I've been looking, and they slow right to a grinding halt. So when the temperatures get in single digits, they have to be over 20, over room temperature really. Room temperature is fine, but 23 is where they'll actually start moving. And even still not really fast, it's a little above there, 25, 26 Celsius. And so they really start moving around 80, just over 80 Fahrenheit. So you can see that one leaf has been working on it since the night started getting cool. So it's not really hurting it, but it's not fast. So we're gonna start protecting this thing. It's taller than the box. I'm almost sure of it. I'm 90% sure of it because it's well over my head now. So I don't know. Gonna have to probably cut quite a bit off of this guy. But anyways, stay tuned. I'm gonna show a little video when we start protecting it, and like midway and towards the end. So I'll show you the finished product and what I'm gonna do and lights and everything. It's gonna be very in-depth. So keep watching. Okay. So guys, it's the next day now, so it's November 1st. So here's the washi right now. I've got all the stuff out. This is the insulation, and this is the wood from last year. I just put it behind my shed, all in pieces, and I number it. So I number it on, just so I know this palm tree is number 4. This is the 4th palm that I put in the ground, of the larger ones. I don't really count the smaller ones. But there's the other boards for it right here. So things you're gonna need, this will just be a quick part, things you're gonna need before you start. So you're gonna need the wood. So depending on the height, these are cut just right at the top of those fronds right there is what those are cut for. They were about 2 or 3 feet longer last year, but the palm's grown so much. So the insulation cut to the same size, or just get your full sheets and start cutting it when you install it. But anyway, cut your boards. You need 4 boards to the same size, 4 2x4s, and then you need 2 for the top on either side. And what I use these to connect to the legs, and then the center I'll connect in the center with one of these, and then these will be down midway or lower to the bottom to strengthen it up in the middle, sort of. And the bottom will be held in by pegs, by wooden stakes. So this is what you need. And then I'm gonna come over here. It's still raining, and yeah, it's still right around 50, 8 or 9 Celsius. So what we're gonna need is an extension cord. It's Christmas lights, and now I use them with missing a bunch of bulbs, and a bunch of them are burnt out, so there won't be very many because they burn out every year. Sorry about the plane. There won't be very many though. There won't be very many bulbs there that are going to work. They're going to light up, probably 7, 8, 10, whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as there's a couple. They just won't turn the thermal cube off as much. I actually like that because it just stays on longer, and it just keeps it more consistent as opposed to like going up to 7 and then back to 0. Now you need some of these little plastic things to stop the screws from pulling through, and you need some screws. A drill, obviously I have that. You need a bungee cord or something, or string to tie up the fronds, and if you want, like I said, you can monitor the temperature and watch it better and try to get it right with this and then unplug it on a warmer day. But the easier way is to use one of these, a thermal cube. So you plug this in, and this is a T3, on at 35, off at 45. So it says on, well there it only says on, but it's both. So it comes on at 2 Celsius, so 35 Fahrenheit. Turns on, and then it'll turn off at 45, so it won't get it too hot. So stay tuned. You're going to be in the next part. I'm going to be starting the construction of the box. Okay guys, so now this was the hardest part, is tying up the fronds, and make sure you wear gloves like I am, because these will hurt when you get caught with them. Long sleeves too, because again, these right here are like little razors, and if you can't, that's the hardest and most dangerous part. If you can't tie these up without the teeth here biting you, you're going to be in a lot of pain. But the tree still looks awesome, and you know what? It just barely fits in the box. I mean, I'm going to have a double roof on there, so that'll push those top fronds down, and they won't create mold. So this is the box. I'm going to do another video in a second here. This whole thing too, just quick and dirty. It shouldn't take you more from start to finish than about an hour on a tree this size. Even if it's a tree that size, it still shouldn't take much over an hour, 2 hours tops. So just do it quickly. These are already, like, even if you set your chops out or use a chainsaw, whatever you want to do quickly, so just cut these to the right size. The first time is even quicker because you don't have to, like right now I have to put these pegs in at the right spot, and these, like all I did is just one screw here, one screw there. You'll see one on each top, but these have to be in the right spot because my foam is already cut, my styrofoam is already cut for this size, so I have to keep it straight, and that the first time you do it, you don't have to. You can just have this top done and have those cut. What you should do though is always do it flush, so that you know that you can make that, and then you just have to check your pegs for this way. Or you can cut another piece for across here too. If you want to use more wood, then you cut a piece across there, and you don't have to. You can set the box over it and peg it in. That's what I do though, is I build the box in the ground, set the wood over it, and then you can peg it in. So stay tuned, one more second. Sorry about the long video. Okay guys, so here's the box. This is about 10 minutes, 15 minutes later. That's it. These go on really fast. I mean, you're putting like 3 to 4 screws in each of these panels. The panels are R5. This is what I'm using here. It's 1 inch R5, just poly styrofoam, just polystyrene, I think it's called. It's a regular styrofoam. You don't have to use stuff that's expensive. You can use, there's one that has just like a foil and spray foam in the center, and you can get those for like even $14 a sheet, even in Canada, where we get screwed for prices and everything. So these are quite expensive though, but I got them from somebody for free, so it was no big deal. But so there's the double roof I was talking about. So you have that board that you screw to. So I screw another piece. It's actually 2 scrap pieces, and I just tape them together, and I put a screw in the center and hold it up. So that's what you were looking for there, is that the top, that there's an area between here, because this is going to be cold and condensate. Up here this will be cold and condensate, and this layer here will not condensate, so that these can touch here. Now on this side you might say, well, you're right here, this is going to condensate. Well, yes it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to do one of 2 things. Either tie them up like this, so put another bungee cord up here so that they're pulled away from it, or all you have to do is slide something else in between here, another piece of insulation, whatever you want to do. Slide a piece, you can put another piece so that you can get it on here to here, and it doesn't have to be a big piece, just enough like you could put a strip just to keep it off of there, or even a 2x4, whatever you want to do. Same thing on this side that you're touching. Last year that wasn't so much a problem because this thing's outgrowing the box quite quickly. So this is basically everything you need to do for this tree. This is a Washingtonia robusta, and this is basically zone, well, it's a zone 6A, but we have had zone 5 temperatures once or twice. Minus 22, minus 23 Celsius is the coldest I've ever recorded here in my house in quite a few years. Well, the longest I've ever checked, because before that I was a kid, I guess, and I didn't pay attention to those things. But the lights are running right now. That was just to test them. But as you can see, I am missing quite a few bulbs, and quite a few of them are burned out. I mean, the bulk of them are burned out and or taken out. This doesn't really matter though, because sometimes you can turn them. No, most of them are burnt out. So there's maybe 7, 8, maybe 10. Like, it's a 25 string. You'll be lucky if there's 10 light bulbs on this tree. But that's what it had last year, and we did have some quite cool nights. That was 2018. So I think that'll be fine. I mean, a lot of times it won't get warm enough to turn this thermal cube off. So what I'm going to do is right now is just testing the lights to make sure they turn on. The fuse isn't like blown or something. So what I'm going to do is I'll plug this into the extension cord and plug the lights into there, and then this other plug here, this is the other part people always ask me about. So this is a cord, and it's a plumbing cable that you use for keeping your plumbing cable, like your like your hot water or your cold water, whatever, your water lines from freezing. So it has a little sensor on it that when it gets too cold, it will turn on a little bit of heat, and if it keeps getting colder, it just keeps turning on more heat until it gets warm again, and then it shuts it off. So, and you wrap it around your plumbing pipes basically, and then you insulate them, and then that keeps them from freezing. So now there's no insulation here, but I just put this below the mulch, wherever the edge of the mulch is. I pull it all back like this, and I put it all around the perimeter of the root ball, the tree, whatever, like just to 2-3 inches below the ground. And what that does is just, if you have any frost coming in from the edges here, it would stop it from coming down. Because it has to be quite cold though, because it has to be cold enough to turn that on in here, and then this. But coming on a little bit, it will stop it. Like just this here, if you just set a bunch of this insulation, you had no lights or no heat, that would stop a lot of insulation, and this area here would stop the frost from ever coming here. You can basically snap a chalk line straight down, because frost doesn't travel like left to right. It doesn't go across. It just battles up and down. And right here, I'm letting the warmth stay up. So the warmth from the ground, because below 4 feet is always going to be warm. So the warmth from that 4 foot is coming up, and I'm allowing it to come up right here. On the other side of this, right here, this will battle it. So when you poke a drill bit, if you come out here to check this out and you take your thing off, I'll poke the drill bit right here, the ground will be frozen, at least a couple of inches. I mean, sometimes we can get frost down 2 feet. People say 3-4 feet. In this area, I've never seen it, like 20 inches. We had like some straight, almost 2 weeks of very cold weather, which for us was, some of the days were in the minus teens and minus 20. But regardless, this would freeze solid, and right here, literally if you took this piece off, you could jab the drill bit right underneath this and not right there, and it would continue all the way down. So that's what people ask me. That's just how frost works. I don't know why. But regardless, the tree is all in there. It's still looking green. This is worst case scenario too, just so you know, you don't want it to be raining. The last part we're gonna do over this whole thing would be put a tarp over it. So like a tarp over the entire box, and then you can use these as well to screw it in. And I won't be doing that because this is actually too early. I'm only doing this now for me because I wanted to do the video. People keep asking. A lot of people probably live in colder places that are using this. Even though I am in southern Ontario, and that is Canada, people think it's freezing. A lot of places in the US are actually already colder, have already got snow, have already got, we're much further south than some of the northern US states. So a lot of people don't realize that, but we do have a good southern latitude here. We're on par with many places in Europe that have palm trees and things. I mean, if you think about some places in Croatia and other places, and definitely more southern places in Italy, we're on like latitude with them. So yeah, it's not, we're not freezing cold, we're not way up north here, but I believe this will work in anywhere in Canada, and basically anywhere you want to grow a palm tree. I mean, you can try this in zone 4, I would try this in zone 3, I would try it in zone 2, heck. The thing is, the only thing I would add is if I'm going to put, I would do it with a windmill palm if I was in any colder than this, I think, but which I do as well, but I would add the insulation, not on the bottom because the ground warmth is going to come up, but on the sides, so right underneath this box. When I originally planted the tree, and I would go much bigger to leave the tree room, the palm, obviously not trees, they're not trees, but all the way down, and that's the way I would keep it. So this was a really long video, but everybody wanted an in-depth video, so you can protect your tree. This is how you do it. Protect the palm tree anywhere. Anywhere it gets minus 20, minus 30, I think you can have it as long as you get a decent summer. And definitely pick the right tree that can handle quite a bit of frost. The more frost the tree can handle, the better it is for you, so you don't have to rush out and do it. Like, I don't have to do this now. It's 50 Fahrenheit, 9 degrees or 10 degrees Celsius. It's not cold, but the nights are getting cool with rain and then going down to close to the freezing point, because I think tonight we're going down to 3 or 4. which is, you know, quite cool. And it is in November. A lot of this, so now you can just put this on. If you want, I'll probably even just leave the thermal cube off. I can plug in the lights, give it a little extra warmth at night, keep the sides on in the night. Before I go to work in the morning, I take the sides off. It's going to be a sunny day. If it's going to be a cool day, just leave it on. And who cares, because it's not going to get any sun anyways. But this is what I did last year, and it worked perfect. And you can see my banana is still doing good, so we haven't really got much frost. We have got some light frost here, but that's just how that's looking in the palms. We have been getting a little bit of frost, but I have been walking around. I was walking around in town, and lots of places haven't had any, and I know my mom's house hasn't had any, so I'm sure it'll be coming soon, sometime in November. Usually comes right around Halloween, so thanks for watching, guys. Happy Halloween. Sorry about the long video. Later.